What's up, guys? This is Ethan from More Leads, More Revenue, and this video is going to be short and sweet because I'm going to show you how to build a web page in record time. Not record, it's not going to be a world record, but it's going to be fast. It's going to take away some of the beliefs that you need to spend thousands and thousands of dollars and spend months trying to get the shit when you can just do it a simple way. And yeah, I'm a web designer by profession, so I guess in a sense I'm going to be putting myself out of business, but that's okay because the people that are going to be using this or using this video to learn aren't going to be the ones that are going to be my clients. That's okay. If I can help more people, then the more the merrier. Now, this video is going to be broken into two parts. It's going to be using Elementor to build a website from scratch, and it's also going to be using a template which is on their platform. So there's going to be two ways to do it. The first way is going to take a little bit longer, and the second way is going to take all of about 30 seconds. So without further ado, let's go into the back end of my website. Okay, so this is it, timesensitiveoffers.com. I have OptimizePress installed for another video, and I have Elementor Pro for this video. Use Pro, don't use the free version. Elementor is very good, and what you'll be missing out on by using the free version just isn't worth it. So in my opinion, just pay the money. The downside to Elementor is the customer support is pretty average. Like, they're not rude, they're just non-existent. So from that sense, it's a bit of a bummer, but that's okay. We're not there to hang out with people, we're there to make websites. So this website we'll just call demo page 2 because I've already got one written up. While we're here, you might want to come down and just add a featured image. That way you've got that. So that's one way. And you can scroll down. I haven't got Yoast installed yet, but if you had Yoast installed, there would be something here that would say meta title and everything like that for SEO purposes, but that's not what we're doing today. We're just doing a web page. So click on this big blue button. I'll show you how to OptimizePress in another video. Okay, so you can see this is our cover image that I just put in there. Here's our theme, and it looks god awful. You have this footer and you have this. So we're just going to go to Elementor Canvas. Now we have a brand new page. So without further ado, let's get started into building a page. So all I'm going to be doing now is throwing in a hero, and a hero is just like the first image you'll see. So I'm not going to go through and pre-fill all the text because it doesn't matter. You know how to write, but I will show you how to style that text. So for this one, we're going to make this a little bit bigger. We're going to make it black as well. Typography, we'll keep the default because the default's not too bad. Boom, maybe 39, 700. So this is the weight of the text. So this just makes like bolder and bolder and bolder. If you want to transform it all into uppercase, we can do that too. So we'll leave it as uppercase for now, just for the sake of this demonstration. I want to add a background. So we'll make this more of a personal training website, okay? So if I was to say this image, now that I realize that that image is black, I need to make my text white. So you can right click on this and it opens that. So what we have here is our layout. We can stretch the section to make it full size. We can go fit to screen, and so this way, no matter what size the computer or phone, it'll always take up the entire screen. So if I get rid of that, as soon as I scroll, well, I can't scroll down because nothing's there, but it's going to take up the whole screen. So that's one way of doing it. I don't always enjoy that, so we'll just make that a little bit bigger. If we want to do this manually, we'd come down here and we'd go to padding. So this is in the advanced settings of this element section, sorry. So let's just make this 100 and 100, 200 and 200. Now you can go separate sizes for, doesn't matter. For the image, we might position it in the center, and we will go attachment fixed. This means when I scroll, it's going to stay there. It's simple as a pimple. Okay, I might even throw in a button. Center that button, and to style that button, we will come over here and we might make that a red button. No, we'll go blue. Now, I'm not trying to make this pretty, I'm just trying to show you how it's done. So don't get on here and hate because it looks like trash. Motion effects. So we can have this button fade in if we want, but I'm not going to have any there. But what I will do is go to hover and go to animation, and I'll go to I'll just choose grow. There you go, simple. So when it just gives you that little bit of extra animation, and it just makes it look nice. People think your website costs more money if it can do stuff like that. Each to their own. This is where you'll put your link. So see how it's got a hashtag there at the moment? You could just go hashtag contact, and then you could come over here and go anchor and say contact, and then when you click on this, it'll push you down to that. So that's pretty cool. So once again, this bit here is just called a menu anchor. It's really handy, especially if you're just doing a one-page website and you don't want to build out everything else. You can have a big menu up here and it says about us, and you click about us and it scrolls down. Contact us, scrolls down. Simple. Okay, moving on. We want to throw in and delete that. We're going to throw in another section here, and this one will do a 4-column. The reason we're going to do 4 columns is because I want each one to be an image. So let's insert that image. We'll make that image a little bit bigger. Okay, I'm not going to do every image, but what this could be is like you're featured in. So say if this person here is a personal trainer, it could say featured in women's health, good health, women's health and fitness, and news.com.au. And so you'll put these logos all across here. Now assuming we want to add some more animation to this one, so when we hover over it, it can pulse, like, oh my gosh, look at that. Or push. But you know what? Personally, I just like to grow. We can throw a border on it, so we can say there's a solid border. This isn't going to look nice, this border, but if we wanted to, we can make this border blue, make it round, and then before you know it, you can play with it like that. So now you've got that, but also let's say you didn't want this border, then we would say no border, but you might want something around the outside, so a little bit larger. So if I go here, I can go hover, I can go border, and then I can say this one, this one, this one, this one, color gray. So now it should pop up. Nope, hasn't popped up. Oh. So now I can have a border like that, which is pretty cool. Again, we're not trying to make it look pretty for the sake of this video. All I did here was push that space, just so we can have a little bit of room here. Now what we can do is I can go copy, paste. Now we've got an extra column, so delete that. I can go paste, etc. like that. Now these columns are a little bit too spaced together for my liking. So for this one, I will come here and I might just, good. So see how I've pushed this and it's pushed to the left and to the right. This is great, except I need to do it for all of them. Otherwise, you know, if I push this one like that, all of a sudden you can't see. I'm just throw another video down there just to make things easier for us. So all of a sudden you can see that this one's a different size, and you know, it just isn't looking good. So we want to make sure that whatever we do to one button, we do the rest. This here I just threw in for the sake of it. If I was to throw in a video, I probably wouldn't do it like this. So I'll show you how I'll throw in a video. This is how I would like to see it done. So that way we can have a bit of context. Now whenever you throw a video or an image in, I like to have it on the right to start with, because what will happen, so see how that looks, yeah, is it goes below. If I was to have this on the left hand side, this would be above, so you'd have the video and then that. I like to have the heading and the text, so that way it gives some information about what the video is going to be. Okay, so this here is what I clicked on, responsive desktop. Okay, once again I like to give myself a little bit of room around these places, so give ourselves that. We'll say from the top as well. I always get lost. Where are we? Here we go. Okay, so now we're just throwing in basic stuff, and you know, we're starting to get a little bit of a foundation here. And this is essentially how I'd build out a wireframe. I will go through and I'll build out this big old skeleton, and once I have that skeleton, then I can go back through and I can edit it better. But let's say you didn't want to do that, or your creativity is limiting. We will go to blocks, and then we might just select something that's already pre-existing. So let's throw about, because it would be nice to have something like this in there, and let's just insert this, because this is the same as what we're doing. See, now all of a sudden we have some white text, which is no good for anybody. We have a different style heading. It's already sort of sized up properly, and it looks quite nice. So now let's throw in a call to action. I don't like how big that is. Okay, so now we've got this here, so now we're moving along. So as you can see, it's not the most difficult thing in the world to come up with. If I wanted to, I might change the color of this, even if it's just to something like a grey, just to add a little bit of contrast. But we might go more of a blue. No, we'll go grey. Blue looks like crap. So grey. This green is awful. We might just go blue for that. No, we'll get white. Okay. From here, you know, we might throw in some testimonials. So here we've got just the Lorem Ipsum. We can choose our image, John Doe. That's the designer, and this is a website link, so if you want to give them a link back to their website, say there's someone important, you might do that. Style for the image, you know, we can make the image larger, smaller, does not matter. We can throw in a border around that image, it's all Gucci. Text color, title, typography, you know, everything's very customizable in Elementor, and it's just a matter of just dragging stuff and just having a look around. And once you understand these 3 columns, you understand everything. It's not hard. But let's say this was a review for your desktop site. You can hide it on all your tablets and you can create a new review. So if I go duplicate, I can go hide this one on desktop, and then I can say to these ones, responsive, hide on tablet. So now if I preview this, I've only got 1 review there, but I have 2. So then when I go to my mobile view, this one here is faded out and this one's kept. So there's, that's really cool. It sort of saves you having to create and edit things that you wouldn't normally want to do. So as we're going along, I'm rambling a little bit, but that's okay because we're learning. So in here, we're going to throw in next. Let's see what other blocks they have for a template, because I might go some content. So this is what I was talking about at the top. So if I was to throw in this here, so if I go back and I can delete that, and then I can, boom. Okay. Again, default size, this is way too big. So we make it 200. And so you can see, once again, the text is the wrong color. But it gives you room to edit. Okay. So now that we're starting to figure out that, okay, maybe this isn't quite so hard, let's throw in 2 different versions of something here. Okay, we're going to throw in a contact form. You need Elementor Pro to use contact form. Throw that in there, and let's say I want to add another item. It might be a telephone number. The label of this is phone, the placeholder is phone, and yes, it is required. And drag that above the message just because that's how normal flow would work. Actions after submit is you're going to get an email. The email is going to go to my email address, and it's going to say new message from time sensitive blah blah, and it can contain all the fields, and you can then add in thank you, have a nice day, whatever you want. Okay, let's style this. What do I want to do here? I want to throw in a border. I'm going to throw in a solid border, and I'm going to throw it only around the top, sides, and like that. Okay, and we have one on the bottom. Now I'm going to smoothen that out a little bit more. And I'm going to shrink that down even more. And we will make that color, we'll just say green for now. Okay, so what I've done there is I've sort of just, can't see it. still can't see it. Anyway, so I've created a border that goes thicker on the top and thinner on the bottom. Nothing too fancy there. As you can see, this isn't the hardest thing in the world. It's just a matter of just knowing how to style things. And when you go back and style this, something simple like this, you want to make sure that you have it so it's not just pressed up against the sides and not pressed up against the top. Okay, so you can see that if you just play around, you can build out a website really quickly. Now this doesn't look amazing, so I'm going to show you how to make it look amazing straight away, because for the sake of this video you want to know speed, and this is a really good way of learning how to do things. So let's go to pages and we'll find a template. Homepage. Let's do this. So this is possibly the best way to learn. How I was showing you there is not the best way to learn. And the reason that's not the best way to learn is because you only know what you know. And you can only learn what you try, and if you don't know to try something else, then you won't know how to get that. So let's break it down what I've done here. This is a full page, okay? And it looks freaking mint. Not my first choice of colors and scheming and everything, but it's just cool. So what we've done here is we have less color at the top and more color at the bottom. So let's see if I can show you whereabouts this is. Where have they done that? Background, color, edit hero. Overlay. So this here is what they've done. They've clicked on gradient and they've selected this darker color. If we want to change it, we can do that. See, we'll keep it what it was. They've selected purple. Let's say you want to go with green. Ugh. Keep it purple. Believe in yourself. They've done here. They've changed the color. They've made the everything here will be in Helvetic, no doubt. I know, erasing sounds, cool. I'm not one for mixing up fonts, but that's fine. Size 30, capitalizing everything. And again, this here button is just one of those ones that we showed you. So this will have anchor for down, and the down will be just here. See, that's what this grey area is. These here aren't links, but they could be. And these icons, you can normally just find them in the icon library. There are so many of them. So we can have PayPal if we wanted, but we're not going to. This here, that all they have here is they have one, they've gone and created one section. Then they've added, what have we got here? Three. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So let's say we'll add one column, okay? Then from here, we're going to add this intersection. This intersection will drag across. So now it's looking like that. From here, we might add another intersection. And then we might go add new column. So now we have 3 columns here. And then we might go duplicate. So now we have 1, 2, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You'll see this is out of line a little bit. Oh no, that's fine. Never mind. So how to create these lines on an angle. They've gone to shape divider. So if you go to shape divider, you can create a wave brush instead. This one probably won't move because it's quite thick. Ah, sugar. That's what I was doing here. So what I've done here is I've changed it to asymmetrical pyramids. Okay. Whereas this one down here, if I select the bottom, it's a tilt. Now it's going to be mountains. Now it's going to be clouds. I'm not sure what sort of freaking cloud that is. Curve, okay? Or a split. All these things you can just do, and it just makes things look a little bit nicer. So the best thing you can do if you're learning how to build a website is to download one of these templates and then go through and be like, okay, I want to recreate this. What do we have here? And then go through and figure out exactly what they do. If you know that they have an image, there's no extra styling here. You know, they just have a large image, they've positioned it to the right. They haven't mucked around with too much else here. You know, you can go through and you can create a website. Or if you just don't care, you can just use this. Just switch out the images, put your own images in there, use your own names, and there you go, you have a website. So, you know, although we didn't go from start to scratch with the template before, I think you're getting the right idea. And by using this, you can go through and you can start editing what you want. Now, if we want to change the name of the page, we can just go training page. My fingers are cold, I don't feel like writing. Another thing you can do is we can go up here in default colors and default fonts. This means click on this link and you follow it. You can create a default font, so every time I add a heading, or if I wanted to, so if I had to add a heading here, you can see it's different to this one. I can create a default font so this is exactly the same, and it's less work. So then before you know it, you just smash things out. So that gives you a bit of an insight into Elementor. It's not hard. It just requires a little bit of time, and if you can go through here and you can learn this way, then that's going to be the best option for you. Beautiful thing about this is if I go to mobile friendly, yeah, it shows you have a wonderful mobile website. So, yeah, in a sense, why would you buy thousands of dollars worth of websites if you can just have a template like this? And if you're happy with this and you just want to go through and change the colors, then well, that's what you gotta do. It's not rocket science. It's not hard, but it's important that you can edit your own website, and that's why I use Elementor, because if I can build a really nice website for you, at least you can edit it and you won't ruin it. And if you do edit it, then you can undo it. It's all good. There's no stress then. So hope this was somewhat informative. Hope you learned a little bit about how easy it is to build a website and all the different functions. In another video, I'll go through and I'll break down the elements and all the extras, just to style things a little bit better. That way you know exactly how to create that really stylish website, as opposed to just throwing some stuff on there like I did then. Alright, peace.